Okay, this is step 2 for switch 1 for the DIY 3220-point breadboard project. In step 1, we took a red wire and we connected it to terminal 2 of the switch. For step 2, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. We're going to take another red wire at about, we're going to cut a length about 12 inches. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. And then once I get this cut off, I'm going to strip one end of the wire at about 1/8 of an inch or so back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist that a little bit so I have my wire end exposed. And we're going to solder this end to terminal number 5 for switch 1. So again, referring to this schematic for the prototype of the power supply for our DIY breadboard project. Terminal 5, if we follow this wire, in this case it's a pink wire in the schematic, but we're using a red wire. It goes to this point in the prototype schematic, and it connects to this red wire here that goes to this red binding post for our power output. And I have a red binding post here. And what we'll eventually do is on the other end of this wire that we just stripped is attach a ring connector on it. And it's a ring connector. This one's a small one, but it's just big enough to fit on this little end post of this binding post, and then there'll be another little nut or that will screw on here and keep it in place. So first, we have our 12-inch strip of red wire. We've already stripped the end of it. What I want to do is get my helping hands again. And again, we're going to be soldering this new wire to terminal 5, which is right across from terminal 2. So this is terminal 5, as seen here. And we're going to first tin the end of the stripped wire we just stripped. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to tin terminal number 5. Now I will attach, our second wire to terminal 5. So the wire is attached now. And again, just like before, we'll take a piece of heat shrink tubing. Again, we'll take a piece of heat shrink tubing. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off, about half of it. I just need enough to cover the end, or to cover where we soldered at on the terminal here. Again, that way we're protecting that terminal and the wire. We don't want it exposed just in case there's a short or something that could happen here if it's not protected. So we want to protect that area. So I'm going to slip it all the way down over that terminal and over the wire. I'm going to turn this so maybe you can see it a little better. And then what we're going to do is take our heat gun, and I'm just going to heat it up to shrink that tubing. So now that part is done. So now we need to strip the other end of the wire that we connected to pin 5. Again, just strip about 1/8 of an inch or so back, just enough to expose the wire. I'll give it a little twist. And we're going to connect our ring connector, or the ring connector, and I'm going to slide it in there until the tip, the very end of it's just exposed. I don't know, get the camera to focus on it. There we go. Maybe not quite that much, but just outside. And then I'm going to take my crimper tool and I'm going to crimp it just like that. And then I'll make a little tug on the ring connector to make sure it's nice and snug. And again, this ring connector will eventually go to a red binding post, and I got one that just fits over that end there, and then we'll put another nut on there to screw it down and secure it.